Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to another exciting live session by Rajasthan Studio. I'm Janvi. Hi. Hi, Natasha. Hi, Parita. Hi, Sangeeta. How are you all doing? How is the pandemic lockdown treating you? Great. Hi. Hello, let it flow. Anika. Hi. सो आजकल कोरोना के टाइम पे we're all talking about the कोरोना वॉरियर्स एंड आज का लाइव सेशन हमारा बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है बिकॉज वी आर गोइंग टू बी टॉकिंग टू वन डॉक्टर ओम लखानी who is a gold medalist in endocrinology. He's going to be talking to us about a very important topic, which is how diabetic patients are impacted during the COVID-19 or coronavirus. So, hi, hello Karthik, hello, Color Secrets. We're just waiting for Dr. Om. I have several questions that I'm going to ask him. अगर आप लोगों को लगता है कि आप किसी को जानते हैं जो डायबिटिक हैं या आप खुद कुछ जानना चाहते हैं अबाउट हाउ कोविड इम्पैक्ट्स डायबिटीज पेशेंट्स, प्लीज ये लाइव सेशन शेयर कीजिए. दिस इज गोइंग टू बी फुल ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन. हेलो, टेल मी इन द कमेंट सेक्शन कैसे हैं आप लोग. हाउ यू स्पेंडिंग दिस लॉकडाउन. Okay, so I think Dr. Om is here and we're going to just connect with him shortly and you can ask all his questions.
Hello,
Hello, Dr. Om. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I think the orientation is not right.
Yes, doctor. आपको अपना फोन वर्टिकल रखना
Yeah.
पड़ेगा. You'll have to. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, doctor, your video is paused. Okay, I think we've disconnected with him because of some connection issues. He's going to reconnect. Okay, a lot of people have joined us. Hi, Nikita. Hi, Ruchita. Okay, he's back.
Hello.
Hello, doctor. Good evening.
This fine now?
Yes, it's much better.
Hi. Yeah.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Doing great. How is the lockdown been? How has the situation been treating you?
Well, it's been out there ups and downs, I guess. You
Yeah,
know, so I think there is, I think, a second wave of COVID patients now, and
correct.
I think we need to be more careful. I think at this point of time because as we know historically. If you talk about the earlier pandemics also, the second wave of the pandemic was as bad as the first one. So I think, we all need to,
Correct.
though I think it seems that, mentally we are more relaxed in a sense, but I think, we need to be as careful as we always were. So I think that's the important thing right now.
Yes. So I was just telling about our viewers that you are a gold medalist in endocrinology, and
Yeah.
you are going to be discussing with us about the impacts of COVID-19 on diabetic patients.
Yes.
So briefly explain to us, doctor, what the impacts are.
Yeah. So first, I'll tell you what's an endocrinologist, right? So an
Yes.
endocrinologist is, in medicine we have three levels. So you have the
Hmm.
basic specialty, that is MBBS. So all doctors are MBBS doctors, and then you have the specialization, that is MD for physicians and MS for surgeons, right? So
Okay.
that's the second level. And the third level is super specialty, where you have either DNB, DM, or MCH. And endocrinologist is a super specialist in diabetes, thyroid, PCOS, and other hormonal problems, right? So we
Okay.
primarily deal with, in briefly, mainly diabetes and thyroid and other hormonal issues that we deal with. Now,
Okay. Okay.
coming to the area of diabetes and COVID, what is
Hmm.
very interesting is that right from the time when the first cases of COVID hit in Wuhan, in China,
Hmm.
one thing was very clear, that the mortality rate, the people who died because of COVID, they've had some problem associated with the infection, right? So, for example, a lot of them were having diabetes, a lot of them
Hmm.
had obesity, a lot of them had heart problems, asthma. They were smokers,
Okay.
and that trend has persisted over even
Hmm.
till today. Almost, we are almost 9-10 months into the pandemic from where it
Correct.
first began. Almost we are going to complete a year now. So
Hmm.
I think even today, the maximum number of deaths occur in patients who are having uncontrolled diabetes. So I think the key message is that, if you're diabetic, it doesn't mean that your risk of infection is more. But if you do contact the infection, your chances of developing complications is
How
much
much?
higher compared to somebody who's not having diabetes.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
Right?
Yeah. So what are the emergency warning signs that a diabetic patient must look for, and what is the
Yeah.
protocol that they have to follow in such a situation?
Yeah. So I think the most important thing is that to get your house in order, right? So that's to get your diabetes under control.
Correct.
So if diabetes has not been under control, if that's something you have been ignoring, if it's something that you have not been paying attention to, or perhaps
Mm-hmm.
you've never even been tested for diabetes. The thing about diabetes in India is that it's like a tip of an iceberg. So you have,
Correct.
for every 100 patients who are diagnosed to have diabetes, there are thousands who have diabetes and then they don't know about it, right? And even
Oh,
during the
okay.
COVID pandemic, a lot of times we are seeing patients who are diagnosed to have diabetes for the first time when they're admitted with the
With
infection,
the
right?
infection.
So, yeah, so that's so I think the important thing is that, a, if you if you're already known to have diabetes, you need to get your sugars under control. B,
Okay.
if you are not sure whether you have diabetes or not, or if you're not been tested, it's a good idea to get things tested at this point of time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
what we also seen is that the studies from across the world, including from India, have shown that we check this 3-month average sugar, right? That's known as HbA1c. So first of
Okay.
all, if you're having diabetes and if you're not got your HbA1c done, get it done today. Right? It's a simple test, costs 300-400 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
You get your HbA1c done. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what studies have shown is that those patients with COVID infection who had HbA1c more than 8.4,
Mm-hmm.
they had more mortality, they had more deaths, almost 7 times more compared
Oh,
to
okay,
those
that's a
people
large
who
one.
had HbA1c less than 8.4, right?
Okay.
So if your diabetes is not under control,
Mm-hmm.
it needs to be under control, because your chances of your survival at this point of time, at ever time in the history of the planet, I think this is the most important period of time when your diabetes needs to be under control. Otherwise, it's really going to be bad.
Hmm. Okay. And doctor, what causes diabetes? Like, I mean, is it possible that somebody may be born with diabetes?
Uh, I'll answer this in two parts. Yes, it's possible for somebody to be born with diabetes, but that's a different form of diabetes. It's a rarer form of diabetes.
Okay.
There are basically two types of diabetes. So you have type 1
Okay.
diabetes and you have type 2 diabetes, right? So type 2 diabetes is the more common one. It's the one you see in older people, uh, you know, uh,
Okay.
older in the sense, adults. That's the,
Mm-hmm.
thing. And most of the people, you and I know, our neighbors and friends and parents and family and, so on and so forth. Most of the people suffer from type 2 diabetes, which is a more common form of diabetes. Type 1
Okay.
diabetes previously was also known as insulin dependent diabetes is generally more common in children. Of course, it can happen at different age groups also, but it's generally more common in children. And generally, the age group where type 1 diabetes often starts is between 5 years to 15 years of age, right? So that's the
Oh,
age
okay.
group. That's the type 1
Okay.
diabetes. Diabetes is a more severe form of diabetes where there's absolutely no insulin in the body.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take insulin, shots 4 times
Supplements,
a day,
injections.
and you have to take the injections 4 times a day, and that is a more severe form of diabetes per se. Then you have the other forms of diabetes, which are of that there could be a rare form of diabetes which is known as neonatal diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
which sometimes a child can be born with diabetes. So
Great.
generally, when the child is born, we obviously check the sugars, but any child less than 15 months of age, if
Mm-hmm.
he or she develops diabetes, that's the age when that could be a neonatal form of diabetes. So that yes, you can be born with diabetes, but that's a very very rare form of diabetes. But generally, mostly you have either type 1, which is in between 5 to 15 years of age as an onset, and
Mm-hmm.
type 2, which is in adult, generally after the age of it used to be after the age of 40, but now it's after the age of 30 or 25 also. So we see a lot of
Oh.
diabetes in the late 20s also. It's very common to see that.
Mm-hmm. So before we move on, there somebody has asked you a question which I think is very important to address. This is from
Hmm.
Mr. Kanhaiya Jijhaji. He says,
Hmm.
I want to know if once a guy becomes diabetic, then whole life, then do they have to take medicine for their whole life, like blood pressure?
Okay. Diabetes, blood pressure, again, we'll keep it separate. First of all, diabetes, answer is no. If you have type 2 diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
if you get things under control at the
Mm-hmm.
right time, diabetes can be reversed, right? The ideal term is remission. It's
Okay.
like, it's like cancer, for example. There are certain cancers. If you treat the cancer early on, you go
You
into
go.
remission. Yeah, so it goes away. And then, if you are careful, it may not return back. If you're not, then it can return back. So the same thing happens with diabetes, type 2 diabetes, not with type
Mm-hmm.
1. Type 2 diabetes can go into remission,
Mm-hmm.
and if and it can go into remission pretty quickly, right? You can go into remission within a frame time of 6 months to 8 months also.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're careful, if you maintain that, you are able to sort of avoid developing diabetes again for a significant period of time.
Mm-hmm.
This remission, unfortunately, what people don't understand is that this remission is possible only if we treat the diabetes early and aggressively. If we wait for it, it's not going to go away, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a sort of an interesting paradox. So let's say you're diagnosed to have diabetes right now,
Mm-hmm.
and you are, let's say, in your 30s, and you a lot of times what people do is they ignore it, take some alternative medication, do this and do that and this and that, ignore it all the time, and the sugar keeps increasing, gets worse, and they come to a point where then it is not going to reverse. But on the contrary, if that is the right point of time, they've just been diagnosed and they come to a specialized doctor, a super specialist,
Mm-hmm.
uh, if we treat it aggressively early on
Mm-hmm.
with medication, sometimes insulin, sometimes medicine, sometimes and combination with lifestyle measures, and if the person is able to get the sugars under control, lose weight, then diabetes can reverse within a span of 6 months to 8 months also, right? So it's only possible if it is done early and aggressively. So if you're diagnosed with diabetes early on, it's don't waste your time trying to try all these therapies which don't work. Let me tell you, what really works is you go to a super specialist, right? Get early aggressive treatment, and then and then you are in the next 6 months or 8 months, you are able to stop your medicines also.
Oh, okay.
Other feature is that once you stop your medicines, once the medicines, insulin, everything, even the insulin can stop. So once your insulin medicines, and we have in fact so many patients who have done this, So we have a lot of our patients on our follow-up. Almost I would say 20% or 30% of our patients, if they come on right time, they are off medicines right now, right? We don't see them, right? We call them after 6 months, 1 year, just to check if things are okay, right? So that kind of thing. But you have to do an early aggressive treatment. If you just waste your time in the initial period, then it's really you eventually you'll require medicines, and then you'll require medicines for lifelong, right? So that's the paradoxical situation here. As far as blood pressure is concerned, yes and no. Again, if your salt intake is very low, if you're exercising, if your insulin resistance is less, your blood pressure medications can also stop. So it's not that BP medicines will not stop, right? So I think in the answer to both is actually yes, but it is conditional yes. So in certain cases, yes. The biggest condition is that you need to be diagnosed early, and you need to be early aggressively treated. These are the two conditions. If these two conditions are met, you can stop your medicines almost pretty quickly within a period of 6 to 8 months.
Okay. So there is another question from Natasha, which is also the second part of our question. She's asking, is jaggery powder better than sugar? And we also want to know what are the nutrient intake that you, would like to recommend to somebody with or without diabetes.
Okay. So again, if you're interested, I'll take the jaggery question first. If you're interested, we have made a very nice YouTube video on jaggery. It's there on the Endocrinology India channel, so you can just Google it on YouTube and all. So see, there's a big misconception that jaggery acha hai, sugar bura hai. That's completely wrong. Jaggery is as bad as sugar, right? There is no benefit of jaggery over sugar, right? There is no benefit of honey over sugar. Okay, so honey, jaggery, sugar, everything is the same. They all fall in the same glycemic index. So there is something known as glycemic index. So that means if I take 1 spoon of sugar, the amount of glucose, or if I take a particular quantity of a carbohydrate or a sugar or jaggery or whatever, the amount of sugar increases that happens after that. That's known as glycemic index. So if I take equal quantity of jaggery and sugar or honey, if I consume that, the sugar amount of sugar that will increase with all the three is going to be the same. Okay. So there's a complete misconception that jaggery acha hai, sugar bura hai. It's completely wrong. Jaggery is as bad as sugar. It is as bad as honey, right? All the three are the same. So if you are type 2 diabetic or type 1, whatever, either form of diabetes, you need to completely avoid sugar. You need to completely avoid jaggery. You need to completely avoid honey. Has to be avoided, right? So this is the first thing. As far as the nutrient composition is concerned, the basic fundamental thing is that you need to have, control of the carbohydrate intake. Okay, so carbohydrate ये होता है जो रोटी है, जो चावल है, your sugar, your bread, all these things are carbohydrates. So the lesser carbohydrate you take, the lesser your sugar will increase, right? So that's simple rule of thumb. However, having said that, every person's metabolism is different. Every patient with diabetes is different. Some patients, take a certain food, their sugar increases. Certain patients take a certain food and their sugar does not increase, right? So it depends on patient to patient. And there is no rule of thumb per se. Like I said, carbohydrates need to be controlled, but every person needs to be assessed. So now we have certain health coaches who provide this services through telemedicine and teleconsultation also. One is something known as Fitterfly, and there's other services. So what you need to do is you need to check what food substances are causing a problem in your case, and then a customized diet can be developed based on your needs, right? So that's the era we are living in. We are not living in an era where ये आपको चिपका दिया आपको ये लेना है, ऐसा नहीं है, right? So every person may have a different need, their metabolism may be different, their response to particular foods may be different. But as a rule of thumb, sugar avoid karo, jaggery avoid karo, honey avoid karo. These are three things you need to start with, and then we can build upon that.
Okay. So this was actually I think another misconception I too had. I always thought jaggery and honey are, better alternatives to sugar. So I think that's a great piece of information for our viewers as well. Another question, doctor, is that during this pandemic, like everyone else is, wearing a mask, sanitizing everything. Um, are there any specific risks for diabetic patients to move freely?
Uh, Look, I think anybody should not be moving freely without the necessary precautions. Okay,
Correct.
whether you have diabetes or you have heart problem or you don't have any problem, I think
Correct.
the problem is that you need to be careful in any circumstance, right? You need to
Mm-hmm.
wear your mask, follow social
Mm-hmm.
distancing. You hear about this all the time. So we need to follow that, whether you have
Mm-hmm.
diabetes or you don't have diabetes. The problem with diabetes, like I said, is that if they do catch the infection,
Mm-hmm.
things become bad. Okay, so their situation becomes worse. So basically, if you have diabetes, you need to be careful of two things: A, get your sugars under control; B, make sure you don't take unnecessary risks which can get you infected.
Worsen the
And
problem.
this is not the only virus which produces a problem. Okay, we have been seeing this. We have been treating patients with diabetes for many years now, and we
Mm-hmm.
know that even the जो हर साल जो influenza virus होता है, so you have the flu which happens every year. You'll be surprised, but even a viral pneumonia, a flu के वजह से जो infection होता है, even that leads to higher mortality in uncontrolled diabetes patients, right?
Oh.
So COVID, just one more infection added to the list. If patients with diabetes develop a bacterial pneumonia, a viral pneumonia, fungal pneumonia, अगर उनको पैर में चोट आती है and it becomes infected, if they
Hmm.
develop urinary tract infection, any of this situation can be potentially life-threatening
Harmful.
for a diabetic patient, harmful for the patient, right? So I think
Correct.
it is not just, and even when the COVID pandemic goes away, I hope it goes away sooner. Even
Mm-hmm.
if it goes away, patients with diabetes need to be careful because the other infections are still there. You still
Mm-hmm.
have viral pneumonia, you still have bacterial pneumonia, you still have urinary tract infection, you still
Hmm.
have can develop diabetes, right? So
Correct.
all these things are going to still happen.
Hmm.
So it's instead of then repenting over what infection caused the problem, it's better to get your things under control, get your sugars well under control, and then you can be happy to say that you've done your job, and then the risk of infection is much lower too. A risk of complications because of infection is much lower.
Much lower. Okay. And who is more at risk, type 1 patients or type 2 patients? In general also
Either
and
type,
even in this
yeah.
situation.
In any infection, anybody whose sugar is not under control is at a higher risk, whether it's type 1 or type 2. Okay,
Okay.
so even if you have type 1 diabetes or you have type 2 diabetes, if your sugars are well under control, your risk of the complications because of infection is the same as anybody else. But if it is not under control, you are at
Mm-hmm.
problems. Like we discussed, we check the 3-month average sugar, and as the studies so far have shown, that if your HbA1c is more than 8.4, your chances of dying are 7 times compared to that of HbA1c less than 8.4.
Less than
Right? That's a
8.4.
small inflection point. So whether you are type 1 or whether you are type 2 or whether you have other forms of diabetes, it doesn't matter. As long as your sugar is less than, your average sugar is less than 8.4, your chances of infection are much lower, 7 times lower chances of death compared to if it's more than 8.4, right? It's a simple mathematics. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not that a particular subset is more at risk or compared to the other. As long as your sugars are controlled, your risk is definitely lower.
So there are two more interesting questions. So one is by Ruchi Roach. She asks, what are the substitutes? Are there any substitutes to sugar intake? If you can't take sugar, you can't take jaggery.
Okay. Yeah, there are. We've all heard about artificial sweeteners for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Again, they have been part of a lot of controversy up and down.
Mm-hmm.
There are
Mm-hmm.
many artificial sweeteners. A lot of people ask us, "ये अच्छा है, ये बुरा है." See,
Mm-hmm.
artificial sweeteners are just sweeteners. They are like जब आप when you go to a restaurant and you find something which is very very nice colored. They put artificial coloring in that, right? Same
Correct.
way,
Yes.
you see a a particular product which is there in the market. Often it is very bright in color, so they put artificial coloring in it to make it attractive, right? But is that color necessary for that? No, right? It's just to make it more pleasing, make it more attractive, and so on. Same way, when you're using artificial sweeteners, they don't have any nutritive value. वो nutrition के लिए नहीं ले रहे हैं. We are not taking it for nutrition. We are just adding it, so because some people just can't stop craving the sugar. That is the only reason where artificial sweeteners need to be used. So it is not that artificial sweeteners are replacement for sugar. They're replacement for your taste, right?
Correct.
अगर तुम्हें, like, there are a lot of people who say that I can't drink a cup of tea in the morning, which is I think a little bit you can actually if you are determined, you can stop that. A lot of people say that I can't drink a cup of tea in the morning without sugar. Well, in such patients, you can use artificial sweeteners.
Okay.
And even among the artificial sweeteners, nowadays you have some new products like stevia. So stevia is basically again a natural sweetener, which is from plants, right? It is from a leaf of a plant. So it's perfectly and it also has a sweet taste, right? So some people really like stevia. Lot of people feel that in fact they prefer stevia to the natural sugar also. Some people don't like it. It depends on your taste. Then you have the other forms of artificial sweeteners, which are there are certain products from fruits like fructose and sucralose and so on. There are certain products. All these products are better compared to sugar, but they're not necessary. If you can completely avoid the sweet taste, you don't need any artificial sweetener also. You can do well without it, right? And it takes a little bit of habit. Though any habit, it takes 2 to 3 weeks to leave. 3 weeks you have a cup of tea without sugar. 4th week you will not be taking sugar, right? It's as simple as that. So it just takes a little bit of habit forming and practice, a little bit of determination, I think, which everybody has. So if you have this little determination within you, you don't need sugar to survive, right?
Correct. So there's a question from Bharti Chauhan. She asks, what are the chances of getting diabetes from your parents or your grandparents, for that matter?
Again, the risk is different for different forms of diabetes. So generally speaking, if you talk about type 2 diabetes, which is the common form, if you have, and this is when I have a new patient with diabetes, there are certain questions I ask them. One of the common question I ask them is that, is there a family member who has diabetes? And often, I believe 70% of the times, the answer is yes.
Okay.
Right? So, almost, so if you have a person in the family who has diabetes, maybe a father or mother or grandparents or siblings or whatever, your chances of developing diabetes increase 3 times. Right? Doesn't mean that you will develop. Your chances increase, right? The chances of developing diabetes increase. So, if you have somebody who has diabetes in the family, you have to, that's kind of a warning that if my mother has diabetes, I need to make sure that I don't develop diabetes.
Okay.
Right? So I maintain a healthy lifestyle right from the beginning. Right? So I eat healthily, I exercise regularly, I don't maintain a sedentary lifestyle, I avoid sugar, so on and so forth. So if somebody in my family has diabetes, it is very important that I assume that I have a risk, and then because of that, I need to be careful and keep things under check. That's a simple message, right? So,
Correct.
in that sense, answer is actually yes. If you have somebody in the family, you are at a likelihood, but it doesn't mean that you will develop, right? For example, let's say on a positive side, let's say your parents are extremely successful and extremely educated, and they're doctors or engineers or IAS officers. Is it sure that you will become an IAS officer if your father is an IAS officer? No, right? There's no guarantee. But if you work hard, your chances of doing that are good, right? The same way, if your father has diabetes, it's not sure that you will develop diabetes. If you work hard, you will not develop diabetes. So it's that way. So so there is increased tendency, but it's not guaranteed that you will develop.
Correct. So there is another question. I don't know how the technicality. Ruchi Roch asks, is adipine? I think is that how you pronounce it? Is it good to take?
Like I said, see, there is nothing good or bad. Okay, there is nothing like a blanket good or blanket bad. You can take it if it suits you. If you can avoid any of the supplements,
It's best.
If you don't need it, don't take it, right? Because there's sometimes, a lot of the times these supplements, we don't know what are the long-term problems with them. We know that short-term they are safe, but we don't know what is the problem with long, right? Whether they have any benefit, whether they have any harm, we don't know, right? So in that scenario, generally my suggestion is that unless you absolutely need it, you take it.
Don't
If
take
you
it.
don't need it, right?
Okay. So, another question, doctor, any at-home exercises that you would recommend for people who are diabetic?
Yeah, so that's a good question actually. Because a lot of the patients of mine, when we tell them, when they came out from the lockdown, the common excuse was that, usually तो मैं walk करने जाते थे, लेकिन because of the lockdown I could not go to walk, right?
We know,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. So genuine problem, but it's not an excuse. You can walk at home, right?
Yeah.
So simple exercises. You can do yoga at home. You can if you have house where you have some corridor or something like that, you can walk quickly there. You do multiple laps there. You can easily do it, right? If you have any exercise equipment at home, like a treadmill or a cycle or a walker or whatever, you can use that. Uh, you know, uh, if not, if you regularly exercise, it's a good thing to purchase it also, because in this world, you don't know when the gyms are going to be completely open for everyone. You don't know, it might go for a lockdown again. So your exercise routine should not be disturbed. You can do simple exercises like for men, perhaps push-ups, sit-ups. All these things are great for everybody, right? So depending again on your requirement and on your ability, you should consider.
So apart from exercises, what about any home remedies that non-diabetic patients can switch to? So to avoid diabetes at an early age. Any home remedies?
Yeah. Yeah. So again, first is assess your risk, right? Your personal risk. So what is your risk of developing diabetes? This depends on one. Is there a family member who has diabetes? Yes. If the answer is yes, your chances, like I said, are higher. Second is, are you obese? Are you overweight? Right. So if you're overweight, say you calculate the BMI, right? So that is your weight divided by height square. So if your BMI, generally, if let's say it's more than 27 or 28 for Indian patients, this is considered to be on the higher side. So again, you need to
Okay.
be careful and you need to control your risk. Third, what type of lifestyle do you lead? So let's say your work is mainly office work. You're sitting in a desk all the time. Your exercise is definitely going to be less. All these things are definitely to increase the chances of that. First is you assess your risk, right? Now,
Right.
if you are at a high risk, first of all, get yourself checked, right? Get your fasting sugar, postprandial sugar, HbA1c, creatinine, all these things. Get these things checked. If luckily you are not diabetic, you are not having diabetes, or you are not even having pre-diabetes, great, but make sure you keep it that way, right? So make sure that you lose a little bit of weight if you're overweight. Generally in the loss of about 2 to 3 kgs initially is a good starting point, and then you can move it further. Avoid sugars as much as possible. Though whether sugar causes diabetes is a big debate. It's been there for a long time, but definitely it's a simple form of carbohydrate, and whenever you can avoid it, it's better to avoid it, right? Third, very simple thing, if even if you're a sedentary job, like let's say तुमको desk पे बैठना है, you can, what studies have shown is that people who exercise in short bouts at frequent intervals, they don't develop diabetes or any other complications, right?
Oh.
Hypertension and all this. So and if you are using some of these exercise trackers on your mobile or your Fitbit or your Apple Watch and so on, they have these timers available, right? So every 25-30 minutes, it will tell you, get up, take a spin, take a walk. You can perhaps, if you're in an office, you can go to your colleague's desk. You can perhaps walk down the stairs and come back again. You can walk to the perhaps a nearby office. Whatever, take a few steps, about maybe 100 steps. Fine, that's enough. But you walk around. Don't keep sitting. Right? Walk around, come back, continue your work. Right? If you are So most of the jobs, you are able to do that. So simple, small exercises, every 30 minutes, every 1 hour, try getting up, walking around. Studies have shown that this act itself reduces the risk of a lot of complications for a long time. Right.
Oh,
So these
wow.
are simple remedies. If you're locked down, if you're working from home, you can do all that, right? You're on a computer, you're having constant Zoom meetings the whole day.
Yeah.
Take a pause when somebody allow somebody else to speak for a few minutes. Get up, walk around, right? Just move around, jog a little bit on your place, and then sit back and continue. Simple.
Hmm. Hmm. I think that's very informative. So, what is your message to the non-diabetic patients? How should they look after themselves to avoid any such problems?
Yeah. So again, eat good, exercise, keep yourself fit, check your assessment, get your test done if you've not got it done, right? And if you do develop diabetes, or if you have diabetes, get it treated. Early aggressive treatment really works.
Yes. So, I think this has been a very wonderful session, Doctor. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been very informative. I think we've mostly covered everybody's questions. Um, so, thanks a lot. Thank you for taking out time to join us to join with Rajasthan Studio. Uh, thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank
Thanks
you.
a
It was
lot.
really great.
Yes, same here.
Great. Thank you.
Bye.
Take
Take
care.
care.